In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 habits that help me become a net worth millionaire before the age of 30. And no, I'm not a trust fund kid. I wasn't given money by my parents. I didn't grow up rich. In fact, I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin with 9,000 people in a small ranch house with 1 bathroom to 7 people. And yes, I am going to take big credit for this because I am very proud of myself. I started my journey as a college dropout with just 81 cents to my name and $60,000 in debt. And I crawled my way out and built myself to a net worth millionaire by 30. So let's dive in. Before we dive into the habits, let's define what I think is rich. To me, rich is being financially free so that you have the time and the money to do what you want when you want to. And of course, you can become financially free in a lot of different ways. There are ways that you can save your way to being financially free, invest your way to being financially free. I like to use a combination of spending less, making more, and investing. And yes, I'm so proud of myself because I've done what only 1 to 2% of people in the US do by my age, and I'm a woman. Did you know that only 2% of women in business ever hit $1 million per year in their business? Let alone doing it by the age of 30. And look, I did not make this video to sit here and be like, look what I did, look what I did, but more so rather to inspire women, to show them that it is possible. I'm just sharing this to bring to light that it is a lot harder to do this as part of a marginalized group. And I don't think enough people talk about how much harder it is to achieve the things we see these big online gurus doing, especially the fact that they are mostly men. So I'm here to say, yes, I'm proud of myself. I'm excited to share with you guys what I did, but I also hope that this leaves you motivated and inspired as a woman to know that you can do this. We can collectively strive for more, earn more, and change those numbers to claw our way to equal earnings, one business at a time. Okay, so the first habit that made me a net worth millionaire by 30 is simply setting and tracking goals. I remember when I lived in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, shout out to Bon Iver. I was sitting in a small town tavern having burgers and beers with some girlfriends who were fellow business owners over lunch. And I remember one of them leaning across the table and saying to me,
"Molly, I believe someday you're going to be a millionaire."
I can't tell you how much I did not believe this person. Like, zero belief. I literally think I started laughing. I was just like, what? Like at the time I had like a small town photo studio. I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, you know? But here's what's cool is her simply saying that to me, even though I didn't believe it, it did plant a seed in my mind. It did give me a spark. And I'm hoping, if nothing else, that this video can do this for more women as well. Because again, it did plant for me like, well, wait, is that possible? And I do think that that is where it starts to actually making this happen, is starting to actually believe that you can do this and setting goals and actually tracking them. Because another thing I did way back in the day is I read this book called The Secret. And I don't know if this is one of the exercises in the book or if I just thought of this. It probably was in the book. I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. But I remember writing myself a check for what I wanted to make someday, like actually taking a check out of my checkbook and writing myself a check. And then I made this dream board of all the goals and things I wanted to achieve. And I put the physical check on the board. And doing these exercises, and guys, at the time I was like, this is so stupid. This is a waste of my time. Like, I did not believe in manifesting. I did not believe in visualization, like none of that. But as someone who is very logical and data driven and not very woo at all, it does actually make sense to me, because when you're visualizing something, subconsciously, you are thinking about that thing more and more. You're reminded of it. It probably helps keep you inspired and motivated. And also, if you never even think of the goals you want and write them down, the chances of you achieving them are probably going to be 0, because you need to actually figure out what it is you want and then relentlessly go after it. So no, from day one, I wasn't like, my biggest goal is I want to be a net worth millionaire. Like, not at all. Again, I didn't even believe this friend in this tavern who told me this, but over time I did get to that goal. So I started out with little goals. Like, I want to make $30,000 a year in my business. I want to make 50,000. I want to make 100,000. I want to have a net worth of 100K, 200K, 500K, $1 million, right? And so I want you to do that too. Pick up your notebook and write down right now, what is your net worth goal that you want to achieve maybe in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, And also, if you're a business owner, which if you're watching this channel, you probably are, then write down what goals you want to achieve for your business as well. And if you know that part of the process of becoming a net worth millionaire for yourself is actually making more money, and you would love to learn my process of how I grew on YouTube, how I sell digital products, how I automate them for consistent income every month, go ahead and register for your totally free seat for my on-demand training. It is one of the first links in the description below this video. Okay, so my next habit that I formed was reading financial books. And again, I know this sounds so simple, but this one was actually like game changing. I remember I was in my early 20s. I was renting a duplex with my boyfriend, now husband, and I always had financial books on my nightstand. So I remember I had Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and of course, read it cover to cover. And then the one that really sticks out to me was a book called Smart Women Finish Rich. And I read that cover to cover. It's been a long time though. I read it in my early 20s, but that book in particular, I remember really inspired me and really motivated me. I believe it had like stories of women who had done it. And I just remember it really helped, even subconsciously like get into my brain and kind of let me know without me even realizing it that I could do this, and it didn't need to be like some big, huge to do. I didn't need to buy some particular stock or Bitcoin and get lucky. Like it was something I could chip at little by little over time. If you want some more book recommendations, I would also recommend this book called You Are a Badass at Making Money. If you're someone who struggles with money mindset, this is definitely a book that I would recommend for you. Another one I would recommend is called Financial Feminist with Tori Dunlap. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Tori Dunlap, like dream collab. I love this girl. She is such a badass. Her book's amazing. She is constantly working towards smashing the patriarchy and helping more women make more money. And here's the thing. These books cost little to nothing or free if you go to your local library. You should use your local library if you are not already. There's also a local library app where you can rent these books as ebooks or even have them sent to your local library totally for free. So if you are someone who's like, I don't even have a penny, or you're like me and you had 81 cents and you were like crying in the bank to not have them overdraft your bank account, like go to your local library and check out one of these books and just start reading it. Even taking the action of going to the library, checking out the book, like really committing to yourself that you're willing to even take little small steps to work towards changing your financial situation is going to pay off in the long run. Because what you focus on grows and improves, right? So if you're like, well, I really want to retire early. I am so sick of working. I want financial freedom, blah, blah, blah. But you're not focused on that. You're not watching YouTube videos on that. You're not reading books on that. You're not listening to podcasts on that. Like instead, you're spending all your time reading like fiction books, which are great, by the way. And there's always a need for work-life balance, but you do need to put the time into the things that you do actually want to achieve and have grow and improve. Okay, the next one is to only follow online accounts of people who are truly going to motivate and inspire you to get to where you want to be. So it's not going to be helpful if you are following accounts and every time you see them post on Instagram, you're like, well, easy for them because they're so-and-so. Or every time they post, it like annoys you and you're just like not inspired or motivated by that person. Stop following that person, okay? It is totally up to you. You have to curate your feed. And that is why I follow women like Tori Dunlap, because I want to always be, even though I'm already a net worth millionaire, I want to always be bettering my finances, being smart about my money. In fact, I get comments on this channel all the time that are like, obviously from men. I'm sorry, but it's just true. They're like,
well, I don't believe that you're rich because like you're in an apartment.
I own my house. Thank you. I've been a homeowner since I was 24. Or they'll be like,
you're not rich because you drive a used car.
I'm like, it's called being good with money. Like seriously though, if you've had these thoughts, not just about me, but about other people, really take a step back, because most of the people online, not all, but most of the people online that are driving Ferraris or like renting these penthouse suites or whatever, like trust me, I've met a lot of these people in person, and a lot of these people are renting these things. They're just trying to look a certain way. I knew somebody who bought a yacht and then was like, this was the worst financial decision I've ever made. So it's like, make sure that you are following people that aren't just being showy with their money, okay, that are being good with their money. In fact, again, Tori Dunlap from Financial Feminist, she rents, okay? And this girl has a multi-million net worth and she rents. I don't think she's ever posted a photo of her car. It's probably used, who knows? But I can tell the people who are good with money when they are actually not flashy with their money. So again, make sure to go after this video and curate your feed. Okay, so go into Instagram or YouTube or whatever. Make sure that you are following people that you actually aspire to be like, who are actually leading you down a good path, right? Like, what do you want to achieve in life? If you want to retire early and have a net worth of $1 million, like ASAP, if you want to take these things seriously, make sure that you are following people that are teaching you good habits like that. Okay, now the next habit that helped me become a net worth millionaire by 30 was simply making more money. Because look, you can take the advice of, all these old financial dudes out there being like, no more lattes for you, sister. Go for it, okay? But I'm here to tell you that if you're not earning a lot of money, it's going to take a very long time and be very difficult to reach your financial goals by simply like couponing and trying to cut back on things. Not to mention, it's not very fun. I found it way easier to simply up-level my skill set and up-level the amount of money that I was earning. And now you might be thinking, well,
that's easy for you to say.
Because what? Why is it easy for me to say? Okay, I will wait. Because I was a college dropout. I sucked at school. I did not get good grades in high school. I did not get good grades in college. I was not handed anything. Everything I grew, I freaking bootstrapped on my own. I built my studio out of furniture I got at Goodwill. I had a crappy car with the handles tied together with a rope because the doors would swing open when I would take a corner. Like, look, I'm not saying I have the worst situation out there, okay? I know there are plenty of people on this planet who have way worse situations than me, but I'm simply saying that I wasn't handed anything. I did it myself from scratch. And yes, I'm aware that I have great privilege and everyone's stories are different, but the majority of you watching this absolutely can turn things around and can do this. And of course, earning more money is going to help you get there way faster than simply trying to cut back and save on, a freaking latte or whatever. So let's talk about how you can make more money, how you can up-level your skill set. So for me, I was living at my grandma's, had dropped out of college, 81 cents to my name. Like, by the way, my grandma's house was not fancy. The windows wouldn't even open. They were like painted shut. This house was so old. But I was so thankful to get to live with her because I don't really know where I would have gone. Okay. But here's the thing. I started for me at my rock bottom. And what I did was I got free business cards from Vistaprints online. They had free cards. I think you had to pay for the shipping. They actually had free business cards at the time. And I literally went to businesses in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I knocked door to door to door. I went to a cake decorator and I was like, can I take photos of your cakes? Do you need photos of your cakes for your website? And they were like, yes, we do. And I was like, cool. Like, what's your budget? And they were like, I don't know, $200. I was like, great. I love $200. And that's what I did to start my photo studio. So, there are so many different businesses you can start. You could start a service business like I started with, or you could start with educational digital products like I do now. I do believe that everyone does have something already inside of them that they could teach. You don't have to have some big Albert Einstein or Shark Tank idea, okay? You can literally teach people how you meal prep or how you lost weight or how you bettered your relationship with your mother or how you make money selling things on Etsy or whatever it is you do. Look at what you have helped yourself overcome, what you've helped others with. Look at what people come to you for questions with and what your expertise is, what you like to learn about, what you like to do. There's got to be something in there. And if you're unsure, I actually made a custom GPT that's going to ask you 5 questions and it will help you nail down what your digital product idea should be. You can download this completely for free in the link in the description below this video. So again, you could start a service-based business. Maybe you already have one, you could grow it, or you could start to sell digital products online. Even if you have a 9-to-5, that is something that you could easily do on your days off, or even a service-based business. You can do that after work or on the weekends. There's always time that you can make to do that. And that's exactly what I did actually with my digital products business is I had my full-time photography studio. I was taking like 10 shoots a week. I had 3 employees. I told everyone Fridays, I am no longer working Fridays in the photo business. That one day per week is going to be dedicated to digital products. And that's how I started slowly carving out time. And then eventually I went full-time with digital products. But there's absolutely no way I would have been able to buy myself a brand new car at 23 or buy myself my first house at 24 or start investing in the stock market at 23. Like, there's no way I would have been able to do those things, especially at that age, without starting my own business and making more money. Because again, yes, we've all heard those stories of people like couponing or saving and scrimping and doing all these things. But it is really hard. It is really hard. And those people who typically do that have good 9 to 5 jobs earning great money. For me personally, I actually said this to a friend the other day. We're all out eating Chinese food. And this is a new friend. She was telling us about her accounting business. And I actually turned to her and we were talking about like tax savings and all this stuff. And I turned to her and I was like, don't you feel like the US is set up to reward business owners more than the average person? Like the things that you can write off in your business to me is crazy. Like they're not actually crazy things. Okay. But it's like the things that I'm able to write off, the money I'm able to save, the money I have the opportunity to make is so much greater than someone with a 9 to 5. Like I just don't even understand how you can get ahead in America the way that it is today with a regular 9 to 5. Of course, I know there are people out there that have great jobs and they make great money and they have those, magic employers that treat them great, but those stories are few and far between. And obviously, I'm partial to business ownership because I started it very young. My parents were business owners. Some of my grandparents were business owners. So it is kind of in my blood. I love it. I'm super passionate about it. I feel like especially for women, it gives us like an incredible independence and an earning opportunity that we wouldn't get elsewhere. Okay, another habit that helped me get to net worth of $1 million by 30 is flexing the habit of saying no more often. I have met so many business owners that are incredibly smart. They have an incredible skill set, yet they are not focused. They're like,
I have this business over here. I'm also doing real estate. I'm also doing a service business. I'm also helping with this business over here. Like, I also have a job.
like they're doing all these things, right? And what I want them to do is look at all the things they're doing and look at which one is the most successful and then go all in on that. Go all in on that. Now, of course, you might be in a situation where your job is paying the most now, but you're trying to get a business started. That's different. Okay. I'm just talking about the people I see that are trying to do it all. They're doing everything. The more you can focus in, the faster you can get results. The faster you can make money and be profitable and save that money and invest that money. And this also ties into saying no when it comes to investing. So I have a financial advisor. Her name's Hillary Hendershot. If you want to check her out online, she works with women business owners. She's fantastic. She gives great financial advice. But the thing is that I had to say no to a lot of things and really trust her. And why wouldn't I trust her, right? Because she's the expert. I'm not the expert. I'm the expert at maybe making money. I'm certainly not the expert at keeping money and investing money and all that stuff, right? That is what she does, okay? But the amount of times I have been approached by people being like,
let's go in on this real estate deal. Let's go in on Bitcoin. Let's go in on this particular investment. Like
so many times. And I'm always just like, nope. I play the long game. I'm not doing any like crazy, crypto, NFTs, investing in rental real estate, which I don't even believe in, by the way. I think the whole real estate system's like broken in the US, whatever. So yeah, I just got a financial advisor. She takes a very small percentage of the interest earnings on my account. She advises me all the time on what I should do with my money, where we should put it. She works with myself and my accountant on our tax savings. And yeah, it's really that simple. And I don't say yes to everything. I say no to most things. I really focus in on what's working the best, what's bringing in the most profit. And yes, of course, I do focus on budgeting and finances heavily, but I'm not going so far as to do things like couponing or cutting out lattes or anything like that because I do just enjoy, enjoying my life. And I understand we're not all at the same place. You might need to be at a place where you're doing those things, and that's totally fine. More power to you, but just sharing what has worked for me. And of course, this should go without saying, my journey to being a net worth millionaire by 30 was not an overnight thing. This took a lot of work, a lot of dedication, reading a crap ton of books, taking a ton of online programs and courses, up-leveling my skill set, up-leveling my education, getting myself surrounded by other people doing the same things and more than I was doing, getting myself in those rooms with people doing more than me. And by the way, if you want to get around other people growing on YouTube and selling digital products, check out my membership Freedom Creator Club. It's linked in the description below. But yes, this took work. This took dedication, maybe a little bit of obsession. I love what I do, but being able to have that financial freedom is truly priceless because it brings with it free time to also do other things other than work. Like the other day, I painted a ceramic gnome. Super fun, right? I have a sketchbook on my coffee table. I sketch when we watch shows. My husband and I are watching the Dexter Resurrection reboot right now. Actually, in a couple days, we're going to Europe for 2 weeks. We're going to Amsterdam. We're going to Bruges. We are going to Cologne, and we're going to The Hague. So it's going to be super fun. And this would not be possible without me putting in those hours of reading those books, learning these skills, putting them into play, and of course, not just spending less, but also making more. Now that you know 5 of the habits that made me a net worth millionaire by 30, you might be wanting to learn how I made over $8 million revenue from digital products. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's gonna be way more powerful. See you in the next video.